2024. Peace is a path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this afternoon, Woji residents ask state government to review sitting of industries in residential areas. Women protest destruction of farmlands by herdsmen along Bayelsa axis of East-West Road. Kidnappers demand ransom for abducted Ekiti pupils, teachers, drivers. And Supreme Court affirms Fintiri as Adamawa governor. On the foreign scene, former Pakistan Prime Minister, wife jailed for corruption. I am Ifechukwumoyle with the news. Some residents of Onwokolo Street in Woji, Port Harcourt are calling on the Rivers State government to look into the establishment of petrochemical industries within residential areas. Their call followed a fire outbreak at a paint company in the area yesterday. Our correspondent who visited the scene reports that the company also produces water sachets and other nylon bags, 4 kVA generators, 1 flywheel engine, and one of the company's buses were completely burnt in the fire. Although residents say some personnel of a private fire service tried to put off the fire, there is still smoke in the paint factory. 2 buildings sharing a fence with the company were also affected by the fire. The residents also said hoodlums carted away with their property during the peak of the fire. They spoke to our correspondent.
Compounds around that place were seriously affected, but my own was just like directly facing the factory. If you look at the whole place now, everywhere is scattered. People in that my particular block, maybe for 2-3 weeks now, they won't be able to stay in that place because the roof is out.
When people saw the fire now, because of the magnitude, people started rushing out to take their property out. So in the process, some were looted by. That's what happens most of the time. People will run away with things that don't belong to them. Some got damaged in the process of evacuation, and then the roof of the house and the ceiling is totally burnt off.
We need the government to check on the facility, to meet the owner, to ask him why it was situated in a residential area, not far away. If not for the quick arrival of the quick response of the fire service, it would have, the damage would have been, and I heard it was a private fire service team, not from the government itself.
We have our correspondent at the scene of the event. Hello, Sam. What is the situation at the scene right now?
Good afternoon, Ifechuku. The incident is actually somewhat still continuing with smoke. There are still smoke in the vicinity. Although the fire service came yesterday, but then we still find smoke coming out of the company. And then the residents are worried. They fear that another explosion may happen. And then some of the gas cylinders too, I observed that they are not completely emptied. So, with the presence of this gas cylinders here and that smoke, which has not been completely put out, the residents are really afraid. And then there are also concerns about the federal and state fire service, the functionality, because the fire service that came yesterday, I understood was from a private oil company. And then one of the surprising things here is that the makeshift security house at the paint company was also gutted by the fire. It's the only property that was left. But then the properties around, the glasses, the plumbing materials were heavily destroyed. The walls are now cracked, and residents of those apartments are currently not in the building because of the level of destruction at the place. So far, that is what you can find.
All right. Thank you so much, Sam, for that update. Meanwhile, a resident of Woji community, Bob Manuel Omiete Igbanibo, has narrated how he reported the activities of the paint factory to the Rivers State Ministry of Health in September 2023, but did not get any response. Mr. Igbanibo, in the email he shared with Nigeria Info FM, said their presence and operation poses health and safety risks to residents. He also said he urged the Ministry of Health to take action following how their waste is disposed of, the movement of heavy-duty trucks in and out of the community, the noise pollution caused by their power generating set, and the hazardous nature of the gas being filled into their cylinders. He called for the factory to be sealed and the owners prosecuted. In a related development, Governor Bubara has sympathized with those affected by Monday's fire at the Nimbe Jetty in Port Harcourt. While visiting the scene on Tuesday, the governor, represented by the Secretary of the State to the state government, Tammy Danagogo, also advised the people to always maintain precautionary measures. Also, the State Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, said fire incidents are top priorities for the state government. He said that on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire today.
It's a very unsavory situation that I must say that the governor is concerned with a work progress. Every action of government is usually prompted by something. Now that there are outcry, and I can assure you that that thing will be something that His Excellency will be a top priority.
Some boat drivers told our correspondent that many are still missing. 3 people died and 2 others have been hospitalized following the jetty fire. They said it affected 4 market passenger boats carrying about 200 people. The newly commissioned jetty and goods loaded for neighboring communities in River State and Brass in Bayelsa State were also destroyed. The fire was put out through the effort of residents who accused the fire service of failing to answer distress calls.
Now market boats carry more than 200 persons and goods, house properties, many things to different locations. Now 4 boats now in Borneo. 1 boat carry 200 about 200 persons.
Now only 3 people come out, small children 3. For water we born, and 3 people that don't go bury them. 3 small children. 2 people fire born and then 3 die.
Yeah, they call for the River State government to come help us because most of us don't lose properties here, and most of us they take these things on credit. Beg the River State government to come to our aid, whichever way they fit to come assist us.
Another resident who spoke to our correspondent anonymously accused men of the armed forces of aiding the activities of illegal refiners at the jetty.
The cause of the fire is, I would say, it's part of the Navy and the policemen here. How is it the cause of them? They do accommodate the illegal business that is happening here. The illegal business is the illegal fire, kerosene and the rest of it. They do collect money from them to sell those things out to the public. And it's one of the things that caused the fire.
An eyewitness had earlier said the boat where the fire started was loaded with illegally refined petroleum product, popularly known as fire. Moving on, travelers are now stranded after some women this morning blocked the Bayelsa axis of the east-west road, protesting the destruction of their farmlands by herdsmen. The women also accused the herders of raping them. Videos shared online show the women marching with tree branches and voicing their grievances. In another development, 2 persons have been arrested in connection with the vandalism of oil pipelines belonging to Ajib Company in Ubeta community, Ahoda West local government area of River State. The community chairman, Nna Frank Jack, told correspondent Sergio Uruwari that the suspects are one Anna Stanley, a road safety officer, and one Otamiri. He said they were arrested by soldiers who handed them over to the police in Omoko.
Deliberate crude oil thieves who destroy the pipeline to steal the crude. They deliberately vandalize the line and allow the crude to pour into farmlands and fish ponds. The security operatives have been on their trail since then. We were able to get about 6 persons. Curiously, a serving staff for the Road Safety Corps was involved. His name is Anna Stanley. Another person is one Colin Stabele. Both of them were arrested by soldiers. They are in police net now. They were handed over last night.
3 months ago, 2 oil pipelines belonging to Ajib Company in the Ubeta community were vandalized, and there was no reported arrest of suspects then. Kidnappers have demanded a ransom of 100 million naira for the release of 5 pupils and 4 staff members abducted from the Apostolic Faith group of schools in Emure, Ekiti State. The school's secondary section principal confirmed the demand. The abduction occurred when the school bus conveying 25 pupils home after school hours was waylaid by the gunmen in the Emure community in Ekiti State. Despite security efforts, kidnapping incidents continue across the country. Still to come, NLC president says most governors in review committee not paying minimum wage. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. A federal high court in Abuja has dismissed a suit seeking to stop Governor Siminalayi Fubara from representing the 800 billion naira 2024 budget of Rivers State. Justice Joyce Abdul Malik, in a ruling, also set aside the earlier interim order made on January 22nd, directing parties in the suit to maintain status quo pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suit. Justice Abdul Malik held that a similar suit in the matter had already been decided by a sister court on the day the interim order was granted. The judge held that the lawyer of the 6 elders who brought the matter, David Madoka, lost the opportunity to be heard when he failed to address the court on the instant suit in the face of the judgment already delivered in a similar case. The Supreme Court has affirmed the election of Governor Ahmadu Fintiri as governor of Adamawa State. Justice John Okoro, who prepared and read the lead judgment today, dismissed the appeal by the APC governorship candidate Aisha Dahiru Binani. And now to business. The President, Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, has criticized the selection process of state governors drafted as members of the 37-member tripartite committee on minimum wage. Mr. Ajero, who spoke on Channels Television, said most governors on the panel do not pay the current minimum wage. And now to entertainment. Multi-award winning singer Asha has said she will be dropping her first single in 2024 tomorrow. In sports, Morocco became the latest giant to be toppled at a shock-filled Africa Cup of Nations when they fell 2-0 to South Africa yesterday, while Mali booked a quarter-final place.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi have been jailed for 14 years. It is the second sentence handed to the former Prime Minister in 2 days. Mr. Khan, who was ousted as Prime Minister by his opponent in 2022, is already serving a 3-year jail term for corruption. He says the cases against him are politically motivated. That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Some Warji residents are asking the state government to review the sitting of industries in residential areas. Some women protesting the destruction of farmlands by herdsmen along the Bayelsa axis of the East-West Road. Kidnappers are demanding a 100 million ransom for abducted Ekiti pupils, teachers and driver. And on the foreign scene, former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife have been jailed for corruption. The news was edited by Martha Okerinkem. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.